Team Poland has finally got its hands on that elusive United Cup title, but ironically, Iga Świątek was the only one on her team that took an L on the finals.
Coco Gauff just took down the world's top player in straight sets, saved 4 breakpoints in the very first game, and looked completely unstoppable. Team USA should be popping off right now. Instead, they're packing up and heading home. Poland eliminated the defending champs despite Gauff's heroics, and fans are straight up shocked at what went down. Which stings worse, Gauff's incredible performance going to waste, or Fritz losing the match that actually mattered? Drop your thoughts in the comments. But let's get this clear from the jump. Coco Gauff showed up. She did exactly what she was supposed to do.
Gauff is still going strong on that mission to turn the head-to-head around against Iga Świątek after she scored her 4th consecutive straight sets win over the Polish woman.
She took down Iga Świątek, the world number 2 in straight sets, 6-4, 6-2. She saved 4 breakpoints in the very first game, moments that could have completely derailed her momentum, but instead she flipped that pressure into fuel. Gauff broke twice in the first set, then completely dominated the second, racing to a 5-0 lead before closing it out. And this wasn't some lucky, fluky win. This marked Gauff's 4th straight head-to-head victory over Świątek at the WTA level, 4 in a row. Only one other player, Jelena Ostapenko, has managed that against her. So when people talk about Gauff's potential, about her being the future of American tennis, this is exactly what they mean. She consistently rises to the occasion against elite competition. But here's the harsh reality of team events. Individual brilliance only gets you so far. Even the best performance doesn't count if your teammates can't deliver. And sadly for Gauff and Team USA, Taylor Fritz and the mixed doubles squad couldn't get it done when it truly mattered most.
Losing in the finals for the past few years, Team Poland has finally won its maiden United Cup title. They defeated Team Switzerland 2-1 on Sunday. Team Switzerland, they started its tie with an early advantage after Belinda Bencic took out Iga Świątek 3-6, 6-love, 6-3. Świątek did look a bit sharper at the start of this match compared to when she lost to Coco Gauff in the semifinals.
The United Cup format is simple, but it doesn't forgive mistakes. Each tie features 2 singles matches and 1 mixed doubles match. Win 2 out of 3 and you move on. Lose 2 out of 3, you're done. No matter how spectacularly your day starts, like Herbie Hurkacz absolutely dismantling Taylor Fritz in straight sets, it doesn't guarantee a win. And when I say dismantling, I mean it was a masterclass in serving and clutch execution. The final score? 7-6, 7-1, 7-6, 7-2. Look at those tie-break numbers. Fritz didn't just drop close tie-breaks, he got blown out in them. Neither player could break serve throughout the entire match, which sounds tight until you realize Hurkacz was always in control. He held his serves comfortably while constantly applying pressure on Fritz's games. Then came the tie-breaks, the moments where mental toughness and big point execution matter most, and Hurkacz transformed into a completely different player. In the first set tiebreak, he steamrolled Fritz 7-1. That's not a competitive tiebreak, that's a statement. The second set tiebreak? Same story, 7-2. Fritz had chances to extend the match, to give his team some breathing room, and he couldn't capitalize on any of them. What makes Hurkacz's performance even more impressive is that he's coming back from injury. This wasn't supposed to be vintage Hurkacz. He's supposed to be shaking off rust, finding rhythm, easing back into form. Instead, he looked like he never left. He's now won 10 singles matches at the United Cup, tying Fritz for 3rd most all-time at the event, with only Svitolina ahead at 15. So after the singles matches, it was 1-1. Gauff had delivered for Team USA. Fritz had let them down. Everything came down to mixed doubles, and this is where American fans really felt the sting. Jan Zielinski and Katarina Pitta represented Poland. Coco Gauff, fresh off her huge win over Świątek, teamed up with Christian Harrison for Team USA. On paper, it seemed like Gauff's momentum and confidence would carry over. You'd think the Americans could feed off her energy and close it out. Nope. Poland won 7-6, 7-5, 7-6, 7-3. Once again, the match came down to tiebreakers. Once again, Poland executed better when it mattered most. The first set tiebreak was close, 7-5, but Poland held their nerve. The second set tiebreak? Not close at all, 7-3. Just like Fritz before them, Gauff and Harrison couldn't deliver in the clutch moments. And just like that, the defending United Cup champions were out. In a rematch of last year's final, Poland got revenge. Team USA, even with Gauff playing the best tennis of her life, couldn't make it to the final. The cruel irony? Swiatek had the chance to seal Poland's victory herself. If she had beaten Gauff in the second singles match, Poland would have taken it 2-0, and the mixed doubles wouldn't have even mattered.
But Gauff wasn't having it. She went out there and proved once again that she can beat anyone on any given day. That's 4 straight wins now for Gauff over Swiatek. Think about what that actually means for a second. Swiatek is a multiple Grand Slam champion. She's been ranked number 1 in the world. She's one of the most dominant players of this generation, especially on clay, and Gauff has beaten her 4 times in a row. The pattern in Gauff's victory was clear from the very first game. Those 4 break points she saved weren't luck or just good serving. They were pure mental toughness. Swiatek came out aggressive, trying to set the tone, and Gauff refused to blink. She fended off every challenge, held her serve, and immediately put Swiatek on the defensive. Once Gauff secured that crucial first hold, the momentum swung completely. She started attacking Swiatek's serve with confidence, moving her around the court, forcing errors. The 2 breaks in the first set didn't happen because Swiatek collapsed. They came because Gauff elevated her game and dictated the rallies. The second set was even more dominant. Racing to a 5-0 lead against someone of Swiatek's caliber isn't easy. It requires consistent excellence, shot after shot, game after game. Gauff was in the zone, playing aggressive tennis while keeping her unforced errors low. She saw the ball clearly, moved sharply, and executed her game plan perfectly. But in team competitions, heroics from one player aren't enough. You need depth. You need multiple players stepping up. Unfortunately for Team USA, they didn't have that against Poland. Taylor Fritz has been a solid player for years. He's been Team USA's most reliable male singles competitor for a while now. But looking at his United Cup record tells a story. He's won 10 singles matches at the event, which sounds decent, until you realize that's the same as Hurkacz, and both trail significantly. The bigger problem is when Fritz has won or lost. He's performed well against lower-ranked opponents and okay against mid-tier players. But against elite competition under pressure, he's struggled, and that's exactly what happened against Hurkacz. Hurkacz isn't some random player either. At his best, he's a top 10 talent who can challenge anyone. His serve is one of the most dangerous in tennis, and his baseline game has improved massively over the years.
The fact that he's coming off an injury and still playing at this level should worry anyone who will face him at the Australian Open in a couple of weeks. Poland's tiebreak execution was absolutely clinical under pressure when every point mattered. Their players consistently made the right calls, served big when needed, attacked at opportunities, and defended when necessary. That's championship-level mental toughness. Team USA, by contrast, seemed to tighten up in those moments. Fritz's tiebreaks were particularly disappointing. Losing 7-1 and 7-2 shows he wasn't just slightly outplayed, he was overwhelmed. The pressure got to him, and he couldn't execute when it counted. For Poland, this victory has to feel incredible. They lost to Team USA in last year's final, so this was redemption. And they got it in the semi-finals, which might actually feel even sweeter than winning a final. They eliminated the defending champions before the title match. Now Poland advances to face Switzerland in the final, and that's shaping up to be a fascinating showdown. Switzerland knocked out Belgium in their semi-final, largely thanks to Belinda Bencic, who's been carrying her team throughout this tournament. Bencic defeated Elise Mertens in singles and then partnered with Jacob Paul to win the deciding mixed doubles. This has become a pattern for Switzerland. Bencic accounts for 68.8% of their total United Cup wins since the event began in 2023. That's 11 of 16 victories. She's not just contributing, she's basically the entire team. The parallel with Coco Gauff's is striking. Both are elite players carrying heavy weight for their countries and delivering when it matters most. The difference is that Bencic's teammates stepped up just enough to get Switzerland over the line, while Gauff's teammates couldn't do the same. What makes this United Cup elimination sting even more for American fans is the timing. The Australian Open is just over a week away. This tournament was supposed to be perfect preparation, competitive matches, team chemistry, and confidence heading into the first Grand Slam of the year. For Gauff, mission accomplished. She's playing incredible tennis, beating top players, and heading to Melbourne with confidence. Her game is firing on all cylinders. Serve solid, ground strokes sharp, movement crisp. She's ready for a deep Grand Slam run. But for Fritz and Team USA's men, serious questions remain. If you can't win tiebreaks against Hurkacz, how will you handle a 5-set match against top players like Djokovic or Alcaraz at the Australian Open? Tiebreaks test mental toughness and big point execution, and Fritz couldn't deliver. Gauff and Harrison couldn't either in mixed doubles.
Team chemistry also played a role. Poland looked unified, supporting each other even after Świątek lost to Gauff, ultimately closing it out in mixed doubles. Team USA, by contrast, seemed disjointed. Gauff was spectacular individually, but there wasn't the same collective belief or team unity. Maybe that's reading too much into it. Maybe Poland just performed better in key moments. Either way, in team events, those intangibles can make a difference. The silver lining for Gauff is that her performance was so strong that it should raise her stock heading into the Australian Open. Beating Świątek 4 times in a row is no fluke. It proves Gauff belongs in conversations about the best players in the world. But it has to sting to play that well and still go home empty-handed. That's the nature of team competitions. Your fate is tied to your teammates, and if they can't match your level, you all suffer. The mixed doubles loss was perhaps the cruelest blow, because it came right after Gauff's huge singles win. She had to switch quickly to doubles with Harrison, but the momentum from her singles victory couldn't carry over. Poland's doubles team was simply better when it mattered. Looking ahead, the final between Poland and Switzerland promises to be a battle. Both teams have elite players carrying significant weight, proven they can win tight matches, and will enter the final brimming with confidence after knocking out strong opponents in the semis. Team USA heads home as defending champions who couldn't defend their title. The weight of expectations, the pressure of being favorites, and failing to deliver in key moments all combined for a perfect storm of disappointment. They'll need to regroup, refocus, and prepare for the Australian Open quickly. Coco Gauff beat Świątek and still went home. That's the cruel reality of team sports. If you think Gauff deserved better teammates, hit that like button. If you're just here to watch Poland celebrate their revenge, smash subscribe. Either way, the United Cup final is set, and Team USA won't be in it, despite having the tournament's best individual performance.